Okay, today we're going to do a little bit for back mobility. So, as we get older, or really any time, our back can get quite stiff, quite tight, quite sore, and it depends what you've been doing that week, that day, or the day before. So, just to work a little bit on back mobility. So, I'm going to show you some that you can do in standing, show you some that you could do a bit more relaxed on the floor if you're comfortable going on the floor. So all I want you to do initially is just work through taking the arms overhead and start to take yourself down to your thighs. Now when you're doing this, you're going to come back up. I want you to think of dropping your chin and then one bone at a time, start to curve. And you're only going to the knees. And then we're coming up. Now I want you to stay down on that next one. We're going to take ourselves into a cat-cow position that we're going to work with. Now you could do this from your thighs, and I'll show you some here, and then I'll show you some you could do on the floor, but equally you could lean on a couch. So we're just going to tuck the tailbone under, one bone at a time, start to curve the spine all the way up to the neck, and then reverse it, that we then start to flatten out that back. We end up with a big huge dip in that lower back. Tuck the tailbone under, one bone at a time, curve through that spine until we get to the top of the neck, and then reverse it, so we bit by bit unravel that spine. So you can continue in standing. The other position would be on the floor. So standing, hands on the couch or on the floor. Now I'm going to stay on the floor, and if you're comfortable where you are standing, you can continue with the rest of these in standing. So we've got that tuck. So you're mobilising through the spine. It's a nice, slow, controlled movement. And the whole idea is to warm up the back, warm up the spine, warm up the muscles, and make it feel easier to move. Now when we come back to the centre here, we're going to take our hips side to side. Now it's a bit like a dog wagging its tail. So what you're doing, I'll face you in a second, is you're just lifting your hip towards that rib cage. So if I show you face on, it might be a bit easier to see. So I'm taking the hip towards the elbow, towards the rib cage, and I'm just mobilising through the spine in this lateral way. And you would do as many of these as you needed to. You could do all of them, you could just pick one that you want to do. The next one, we're going to circle. So you're focusing on circling through that pelvis. So you circle. We often do this one in standing, especially in Pilates. So we're just circling through, and you're just moving those hips round in a circle. So again, all fours are standing as many times as you want to do this. And it would be both directions. So I've already done the other side, but I'll go back round. So it's just a nice way, and then we'll just lift our leg. So I'm taking my knee into my chest. If I was doing this standing, I would just come up and down. So I'm getting this movement of that lower back into the hip, and then do the other side. So it would either be all fours or standing. And we've got that curving of the spine and then the dip. Now, if you're on the floor, you can sit in a comfortable position, cross-legged, legs out. I'll do some here. If you're standing, you could even sit on a chair, but I want you would be better in a chair, simply because if I show you what tends to happen is this. So movement from the ankles. So if I show you in this angle, I'm moving the whole spine as one unit. and that's not what I want to do. So what I want to do is rotate from the waist upwards. So the best way to stop your hips is to tuck under and lock, or sit in a chair, or sit on the floor. And you then take away that whole action of being able to move your hips with you, because they're locked into the chair, they're locked into the floor, or they're locked because you've tucked your tailbone under. So this is just a good way to mobilise. Now we're not looking to take the arms over and just move the shoulders. We must move the rib cage corner to corner, so you feel that work through your spine. Okay, we're also going to go into a lateral position. So you could be standing, you could be sitting on your chair, you could be on the floor like me. You're going right up and over your hips. You're feeling a stretch coming out of your hip here. And again, I'm just showing you some. You can do as many repetitions of all of these as you want to. Okay, so what we can also do, now this would be if you're comfortable lying on your back on the floor or on your bed. So if you're maybe in the kitchen or the living room, this might not work just for you right now. But another one is to let your legs roll side to side. So you are just keeping the legs nice and relaxed. You're keeping the arms and your shoulders on the floor. So by doing that, you're able to anchor the arms down and just move the legs to where it's comfortable. Now you might have a stiff back, you might feel fine, so you might be limited in how much you can move. But the more that you move and the more that you do these mobility exercises, I'm hoping that you're now finding that if you started off with a stiff back, it's hopefully feeling a bit more flexible, a bit more mobile, it's eased off. So the neck and shoulders completely relax. So it's just a slow back. And this is one we're doing as a mobility. Now we're going to do one more for mobility of that spine. So when we were doing the cat-cow on all fours or standing, it's the same as doing a roll up to bridge. So this is again probably one you want to do on your bed if you're not comfortable on the floor. But if I move my arms out the way so you can see the spine, I'm doing exactly the same as I explained with that cat-cow. I'm going to tilt the tailbone so you'll feel your back flatten into the mat, squeeze your bottom nice and tight, and then bone by bone, vertebra by vertebra, you're coming up to the height you can manage. And then you reverse it, so the upper back starts to come back to the floor, bone by bone, all the way down. Now what we're trying to avoid is a hip thrust. And a hip thrust is when you just push up and you drop down, so there's not any articulation of the spine. I want to definitely articulate one bone at a time, so tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the bottom, and imagine one bone at a time coming off the floor, really relax the neck and shoulders. And then upper spine, one bone at a time, is coming back down. Now you might find you have a bit of stiffness in your back, and you find that at some point that stiff area drops down as one unit. So it's just trying to mobilise through and see, depending what's causing that, if you can ease it off. So I'll do one more, but again, you do as many as you want to of these. So you're tilting the tailbone, peeling it off the mat, one bone at a time, squeezing the hips up at the top, and then you reverse that. So upper back all the way, down, down. Okay, so hugging those knees. Okay, so if you are on the floor, I'll take you back up from the ground. So onto your sides, and then onto the hands and knees, you're going to push yourself up. So you could just go into a lunge, and then press yourself up from here. So that was just a little brief few minutes of working through your mobility of your spine. So you can choose to do them all, or you can pick one or two and do as many as you feel helps to loosen off that spine. Okay, I hope that's really helped you.